I hope you're having an amazing and exothermic day 2 of this conference. And we have two great talks coming up next. So, I've been following the work of the now many cohorts of graduate students who chose to enroll in the Human Factors and Safety Systems program at Lund University. Among the first of these was John Allspaw, famous for his 2009 talk, 10 Deploys a Day, Every Day at Flickr. But I've been particularly interested in the work of Nora Jones, because her work is informed by so much of her first-hand experiences in some of the most famous properties in the world, such as being head of chaos engineering at Slack, and being involved in so many aspects of chaos engineering at both Netflix and at Jet.com, which was acquired by Walmart. I love her stories because they help bridge the world of theory and practice, underscoring why it's so important to deeply learn from incidents. In other words, how organizations prepare for and learn from incidents is so critical, famously called an investment that was made on your behalf, but without your consent. I believe that doing this well is one of the key hallmarks of dynamic learning organizations. Nora is currently founder and CEO of Jeli.io. Okay, here's Nora.
Hello, everyone. We've all had incidents. They're unexpected, they're stressful, and sometimes in management, there's inevitable questions that creep up. What can we do to prevent this from ever happening again? What caused this? Why did this take so long to fix? The organizations I've worked in and the research that myself and my team has done in the space has shown the following responses to the question of why do we do postmortems? I'm honestly not sure. Management wants us to. It gives the engineers space to vent. I think people would be mad if we didn't. We have obligations to customers. We have tracking purposes. We want to see if we're getting better, or we want to have the answers to the board's questions. I think we all know that some form of post-incident review is important, but we don't all agree on why it's important. We want to make efforts to improve. We want to show that we're improving, but we're spinning our wheels in a lot of ways because we're not actually making efforts to improve the post-incident reviews themselves. We're making efforts to try to stop incidents, but without making efforts to try to improve the post-mortem reviews or improve the incident reviews, we're actually not going to improve incidents on any level. The good news is incident analysis can be trained and aided, but it has to be trained and aided to be improved upon. In this very conference before, John Allspaw has talked to us about how the metrics we are tracking today, like MTTR and MTTD, and number of incidents are actually shallow metrics, right? I get why we're tracking those things. It's an emotional release. It's something that can make us feel better. But he posed an open question and challenge to the audience. He said, where are the people in this tracking and where are you? Well, we haven't changed much as an industry in this regard. Gathering useful data about incidents does not come for free. You need time and space to determine it. And today I'm going to talk to you about why giving this time and space to your engineers and to your organizations to improve post-incident reviews can actually work within your favor. It can give you that ROI you're looking for and level up your entire organization. And I'm going to tell you about this through multiple stories that I've experienced myself and new paths on how you can do this in ways that are not disruptive to your business and next steps for you to embark on. Spoiler alert, sometimes a thorough analysis or incident review actually reveals things that we're not ready to see, hear, or change yet. So as leaders, we have to be open to hearing some of these things. I'm Nora Jones. I've seen this on the front lines as a software engineer, as a manager, and now as I'm running my own organization. In 2017, I keynoted at AWS reInvent to an audience of around 50,000 people about the benefits of chaos engineering, purposefully injecting failure in production, and my experiences implementing it at Jet.com, which is now Walmart, and Netflix. And most recently, I started my own company based on a need I saw for the importance and value add to the whole business of a good post-incident review. However, I also saw the barrier to entry of getting folks to work on that. I started an online community called Learning from Incidents in Software. This community is full of over 300 people in the software industry, and we're sharing our experiences with incidents, we're sharing our experiences with incident review, and we have folks from all over the industry. That led me to starting my own organization to helping companies get more ROI from post-incident reviews at Jeli. This equation in a book called Seeing What Others Don't by Gary Klein. Gary Klein is a cognitive psychologist who studies experts and expertise in organizations. This metric he came up with is performance improvement is the combination of error reduction plus insight generation. You can't have one without the other. Yet we focus as an industry way too much on the error reduction piece and not on the insight generation piece. Except we're not actually going to improve the performance of our organizations if we're only focusing on the error reduction piece. And I get it, that is an easy thing to measure. As software engineers, we're taught to look for technical errors. We're taught to look for some of these things. We're not so much taught to generate insights. We're not so much taught to disseminate insights, and we don't get celebrated for it. That's something that we can do as leaders, is we can actually celebrate the insight generation and dissemination and training materials by folks in our organization. Today, I'm going to tell you 3 different stories about the value incident analysis brought about in different organizations. These are based on true events I have witnessed or been a part of, but their names and details have been changed. When I was at Netflix, I was on a team with 3 other amazing software engineers. We'd spent years building a platform to safely inject failure in production to help engineers understand and ask more questions about areas in their system that unexpectedly behaved when presented with turbulent conditions we see in everyday engineering, like injecting failure or latency. It was amazing. And we were happy to be working on such an interesting problem that could ultimately help the business understand its weak spots. But there was actually a problem with the way that we implemented the tooling and the way it was being used. And when I took a good look at it, most of the time I realized that the 4 of us were actually